Can Omni Man survive the deadliest horror monsters? This was an exciting thumbnail for me. Like, it is so good. It's got Omni Man covered in blood. It's got it behind him, the Terrorizer. And I said, I have to watch this. I have to watch this. It's done. This is done by Chapaka Cabro. I can't pronounce that. But I am so interested in this. I don't have an intro. I just want to get into it.
What happens when the most powerful villain from Invincible faces off against horror's deadliest monsters? Omni Man has conquered planets, but there's one creature on this list that would make even him tremble. By the end of this video, you'll know which horror monster could actually kill the unstoppable Viltrumite. My dog wanted to say hi for this video, so for every single person that likes this video and subscribes, I'll give him a boop on the head. Thank you. Let's kick things.
Dude, so many people like that he just beats his dog to death. That'd be that'd be wild, bro. I'm not condoning violence against animals, but that was just my first thought, because that's 14,000 or 13,000. For some reason, when I clicked like, I thought it was gonna jump up to 14,000 likes. That's 13,000 likes of just like, and the pooch's head's just fucking concaved. It looks like a meme.
Off with everyone's favorite supernatural murder clown. No, not Pennywise. We'll get to him later. I'm talking about Art the Clown, the black and white nightmare fuel from the Terrifier franchise. If you haven't seen these movies yet, maybe don't watch them alone or while eating. Trust me, your stomach will thank me later. Art isn't your typical birthday party clown who makes balloon animals, unless those animals are made from your intestines. This demonic entity has a habit of coming back from the dead, torturing his victims in the most creative ways possible, and often turning their bodies into his own twisted art projects. In Terrifier 3, we learn he's literally—
sounds like me every weekend, baby.
Collecting souls for Satan. Because why have a subtle backstory when you can go full I'm working for the actual devil? Now let's compare these two psychopaths. On one hand, we have Art with his supernatural strength, regenerative abilities, and apparent immortality. Shoot him, stab him, even blow his brains out. He'll just come back for more. Plus, he's got that creepy silent mime thing going on, which honestly would probably just annoy Omni Man. On the other hand, we have Nolan Grayson, a Viltrumite warrior with thousands of years of experience, who can punch through mountains, fly faster than sound, and literally destroy an entire civilization while having a father-son chat. You know, typical dad stuff. His weakness? Apparently having a tiny sliver of conscience buried beneath all that muscle and mustache. Imagine this. Art is doing his usual terrifying routine in an abandoned carnival. He's just finished turning some teenager into a human jigsaw puzzle when he spots a mustachioed man floating above him, arms crossed, looking thoroughly unimpressed. Art does his signature head tilt, maybe throws a knife that Omni Man doesn't even bother dodging. Is that supposed to be scary? Omni Man would probably ask, catching the knife between his fingers. I've stepped on more threatening insects. The outcome? Let's be real. Art would be turned into a red smear faster than you can say Viltrumite superior.
Yeah, no, facts. I mean, even if he regens, dude, Omni Man could literally just like lock him in a giant metal sarcophagus and just beat him for fun every weekend, dude. He's like, this week was a tough day at work. I'm gonna go down to the basement, honey. I got some fun shit down there. And she's thinking, oh, maybe sex dungeon. No, it's just a fucking clown that he turns into red splatters once a week.
Priority. Omni Man wouldn't even break a sweat. He'd probably just fly through Art at supersonic speed, atomizing him on impact. And while yes, Art does have that whole resurrection thing going for him, Omni Man could just, like, I don't know, throw him into the sun. Good luck regenerating from that, clown boy. But here's the kicker though. Art's true power isn't his physical strength, it's psychological terror. And that's where he would completely fail against Omni Man. The Viltrumite has seen civilizations rise and fall, has participated in the culling of his own people, and has committed genocide multiple times. It's basically a hobby for him at this point. A creepy clown with a knife? That's a Tuesday for him. So while Art might give us humans nightmares for weeks, to Omni Man, he'd be nothing more than a mildly annoying pest that needs to be squashed. Sorry, Art fans, your favorite killer clown just isn't in the same weight class as a planet-destroying alien warrior. Better luck with your next victim. But if Art the Clown is the appetizer in this horror buffet, Pennywise is the main course, because while Art might want your body for his art projects, Pennywise wants something much more valuable, your fear. And even Viltrumites feel fear, don't they? Because we're floating into the sewers of Derry, Maine, home to everyone's favorite dancing clown, Pennywise. And he isn't just any horror villain. He's actually a cosmic entity older than our universe, who decided his best disguise would be a clown. Because apparently in the cosmic
I actually really love It the Clown. That was so. I actually have It socks, right? This is a fun thing. I'm gonna skip this ad, but I'm gonna hit pause real quick because I want to talk to you about my Pennywise socks, because my Pennywise socks are freaking fire. Here's the thing: I own both the remake Pennywise socks, and I own the original '90s Pennywise socks, and I wear them mismatched. So you have a bit of the future, a bit of the old. Because I loved what both actors did with Pennywise. You have, hey, Georgie, you want a balloon? And then you have, hey, Georgie, you want a balloon? You got the Brooklyn grimy, oh, they all swim down here. They all swim down here. I like the fact that they went in completely opposite directions with like the character. It was one of the first horror movies that my wife watched and liked with me. That we actually went to the theaters and watched it too, which she was kind of scared to go to. And I told her right away, I was like, babe, dude, they're adults now. And even the second part of the book gets kind of stale when they become adults, because you're looking at it from the perspective of an adult compared to looking at it as a perspective of a kid. So you have two different, very different experiences of horrors. You're not putting yourself in the feet of a child, or the pants, or the shoes of a child anymore. You're putting yourself in the shoes, pants, shirt of an adult, and you would have a different reaction. So it's just having different effects on your mind.
Buck, terrifying children is right up there with consuming planets. Unlike Art, Pennywise doesn't just want to kill you. He wants to season you up first like a nice filet mignon. Fear is literally his salt and pepper, and he needs you absolutely terrified before he takes a bite. Think of him as like a Gordon Ramsay of interdimensional predators, except instead of yelling that you're an idiot sandwich, he becomes your worst nightmare before eating your soul. Pennywise's true form, the Deadlights, is supposedly so incomprehensible that merely glimpsing it drives humans insane. He's got reality warping powers, can shapeshift into literally anything, and has been feeding on the citizens of Derry for centuries. His only real weakness? Yeah, that's when people stop being afraid of him. And then he turns into something resembling a sad, deflated carnival attraction that can literally be bullied to death. And you thought your existential crises were bad. So how would this fear-feeding entity face against the mighty
Nothing. He would do nothing, because Omni Man's not going to be afraid of a fucking cosmic clown. There's no way in hell that Omni Man's going to look at him and be like, You remember when there was a scary thing in your closet? And Omni Man would just look at him with this fucking mustachioed face and be like, I'm gonna rip your fucking dick off. And he's like, but hey, Georgie, you remember when you punched your son? I'm still gonna rip your dick off. Oh. And then he would fucking deflate, and Omni Man would sit there roasting him.
Dash of Viltrumite superiority. Let's break it down. Imagine Omni Man flying over Derry, probably looking for somewhere to get a sandwich, because why not? Suddenly he notices a red balloon floating unnaturally against the wind. Curious, he follows it into a storm drain. Hiya, Nolan, comes a voice from below. Do you want your balloon back? They all float down here. You float too. Pennywise might try the direct approach first, maybe appearing as Debbie or Mark in peril or something creepy like that. But here's the problem. Omni Man's greatest fears aren't really about losing his family. The man literally beat his son half to death while explaining how humans are basically pets to him. He's not exactly winning Father of the Year material. Perhaps Pennywise could dig deeper though, trying to maybe manifest as the Scourge virus that nearly wiped out all the Viltrumites, or maybe as Thrag, one of the few beings who could actually challenge Nolan. But even then, Pennywise's whole shtick depends on his victim being paralyzed by fear. And Omni Man has spent thousands of years as a warrior. He doesn't just freeze up. He fights. The moment Pennywise realizes that his fear tactics won't work, he'd be in trouble. Because while a bunch of kids could defeat him by simply not being afraid, Omni Man would take it a step further and introduce Pennywise's face to the center of the earth at Mach 10. Even if Pennywise revealed his true Deadlights form, Omni Man being a Viltrumite would likely protect him from the mind-breaking effects that cripple humans. Sorry, but a being who can tank nukes probably isn't going to be overwhelmed by some cosmic light show. The verdict? Pennywise is going to get his ass kicked. The ancient cosmic entity who's
Absolutely. That was the thing about the thumbnail, is I knew both of them were going to get their fucking dicks ripped off and shoved in their ears so they couldn't hear the atrocities happening to their body. Let's be real, guys.
Terrorizing a small Maine town for centuries would discover that there are scarier things in the universe than himself, like a mustachioed alien who views genocide as a Tuesday afternoon activity. Okay, so a shapeshifting fear clown is no match for Omni Man, but what about something that doesn't just mimic your fears? What if it like literally became you, cell by cell? The thing doesn't care how tough you are on the outside when it's busy becoming you from the inside out. Welcome to Antarctica, where the temperature drops faster than your motivation to go to the gym after New Year's is over. It's also home to our next contender, The Thing, an alien parasite that makes body snatchers look like amateur hour. If you haven't seen John Carpenter's 1982 masterpiece, why haven't you?
Greatest horror movie ever made. Hands down. Dude, The Thing is my favorite horror movie I've ever watched. There's nothing that has even came close. I mean, there's been stuff that I like a lot or is incredible, but John Carpenter's The Thing is it's just so good. There is not a bad scene in that film. Honestly, I love most John Carpenter movies, even some of the bad ones. I still enjoyed myself. I think that he is one of the greatest, or if not the greatest, creator of cinema out there, dude. He's so good. I love like even his action movie, Big Trouble in Little China, is just such a fun fucking movie. Escape from New York, even Escape from LA, being as shit as it is a fun watch, especially if you know it's a bad movie going in. Like my dad, I remember I got Escape from New York and Escape from LA in like a 2-pack. My dad's like, the second one's awful. And I said, okay, I'm gonna watch it. No, it's awful. And it's awful, but it's hilarious. They're like surfing through sewers and shit. It's such a stupid movie, but it was so much fun. The main villain's beaten in a basketball game. It's retarded. It is an absolutely retarded movie. But knowing it's retarded going in makes it so much fun to point and laugh at that it then becomes a movie that's so bad it's good.
That's a big mistake you're making right now. The thing is a shape-shifting organism that assimilates and perfectly replicates any living being it touches. And it's not just visually, we're talking down to the cellular level. It doesn't just wear your face, it becomes you, memories and all, then uses your body as a meat puppet to get close to its next victim. Sweet dreams. What makes the thing truly terrifying isn't just what it does, but how it creates paranoia. In a small Antarctic research station, nobody knows who's human and who's secretly waiting to sprout tentacles.
There is one defense that I see Omni Man having here, and I think Omni Man just kills everybody on the space station. He murders everybody until the one person, and then he just, once he's obliterated everybody, then the last person left is the thing, and the thing then is him, and then he has to fight himself, and we'll see how that goes. That becomes a different sort of a dynamic, but in order for him to find the thing, it's very easy. He just murders everyone.
Tentacles and spider legs when the coffee pot runs empty. It's only known weak.
Hardy's too.
And I know for a fact he's going to say that he's going to murder everybody. I just, like, if you think that he's going to fucking freak out even in the slightest because his fucking jabroni is now acting a little strange, no, he's not going to worry which one's the thing. He's just going to go absolute giggity schmoodle mode on everybody's dicks.
But how it creates paranoia. In a small Antarctic research station, nobody knows who's human and who's secretly waiting to sprout tentacles and spider legs when the coffee pot runs empty. Its only known weakness? That's fire. Lots and lots of fire. So how would this copycat fare against our favorite planet destroyer? Let's imagine Omni Man somehow crashes in Antarctica. I don't know, maybe he got bored on Earth and he wanted to go look at the penguins. I don't know. He stumbles upon an abandoned research station and finds a single survivor huddling in the corner. The survivor would beg him, please help me get out of here. And Omni Man, not exactly known for his compassion, might consider leaving this human popsicle to their fate. But wait, that would be too easy for our story. Let's say he decides to investigate, maybe find some bizarre remains that look like failed taxidermy projects from someone who's only seen humans in blurry photographs. The thing, sensing a new potential host, would make its move. Maybe it lunges at Omni Man, trying to establish that critical cellular contact needed for assimilation. And here's where things get interesting. Could the thing actually assimilate Viltrumite biology? Because Viltrumites aren't human. They're an alien species with incredibly dense molecular structures that can withstand the vacuum of space, tank nuclear explosions, and regenerate from massive injuries. Their cells are fundamentally different from anything the thing encountered in that research station. And remember how the thing struggled when it tried to assimilate the station's dog? That was just a different mammalian species. Trying to copy Viltrumite DNA would be like asking me to explain quantum physics. Theoretically possible, but probably just going to result in confused screaming and probably making babies cry. Even if the thing managed to get a piece of Omni Man, but like good luck with that, the man's skin can deflect bullets. The moment it tried to hijack his alien cellular structure, it would likely face rejection faster than I did asking out my high school crush. But let's be generous and say the thing somehow overcomes these barriers and begins assimilation. The second that Omni Man felt anything weird happening to his body, he'd do what Viltrumites do best: resort to overwhelming amounts of violence. He could fly into the sun to burn out the infection, or simply use his own innate ability to control his molecules, which is what lets the Viltrumites fly, to reject the invasion. The verdict? Unlike those poor researchers who had to resort to blood tests and flamethrowers, Omni Man's alien physiology and overwhelming power would make him virtually assimilation proof. The thing would just become another weird alien Omni Man destroyed on his.
And I kind of agree with this, but if I was going to be like incredibly generous to the point where the thing did it, I think it would be a fun fight, but I still think Omni Man wins. I think Omni Man pulls out just in the end because of the not quite being able to do it perfectly. Because even where he is able to assimilate, I don't think the thing is able to assimilate perfectly. It showed that in the movie. To even normal people, it's not able to assimilate normally. So the fact that even if it gets close, it's still not perfect enough to win to the perfect, the original. And copy's always worse than the original, and that's what's going to be the deciding factor.
Lunch break. But if you thought a microscopic battle was intense, let's supersize this competition. The Cloverfield monster might not be able to copy you on a cellular level, but it can certainly step on you like an ant, and not in a good way.
No, it's fucking cooked. He's gonna take its dick, shove it up its own ass, and then rip it in half. Come on, the Cloverfield monster loses. The Cloverfield monster gets fucking bodied so fucking fast, it's obnoxious how fast this fucking giant bug pussy is going to get his ass fucking ripped through. I love Cloverfield, don't get me wrong, but come the fuck on. He's destroyed so many creatures like this. This is nothing.
buildings are just chew toys, does size finally give a horror monster the edge against Omni Man? So the Cloverfield monster, or Clover if you're on a first name basis with a city-destroying behemoth, is basically what happens when someone feeds a sea creature radioactive growth hormones and abandonment issues. Standing around 25 stories tall, which is roughly 300 feet for those of you who skipped math class, this massive alien infant stomps.
It's like fucking Omni Man fighting Godzilla. Omni Man wins. I think Godzilla's sick, don't get me wrong. I think this fucking thing's sick, but it's still just a radioactive giant monster compared to a literal fucking god. In comparison, he's like Superman. He's unbreakable. So this thing, he's just gonna fly through its fucking skull. It's gonna be over. He won't even like slow down. He'll just like on the way to get pizza, fly through its fucking head, get the pizza, and then let the wind dry and the rain dry off his fucking blood. It's not even a competition.
Through Manhattan like it's throwing the world's deadliest temper tantrum. And yes, you heard that right. Infant. According to the director, Matt Reeves, this mountain-sized nightmare is just a baby separated from its mommy. That doesn't make you feel better about your own childhood outbursts? Nothing will. Besides its Godzilla-shaming size, Clover comes equipped with thick armor-like skin that shrugs off military weaponry, enough strength to decapitate the Statue of Liberty, and those charming parasites that fall off its body and bite people's faces off. It's essentially a walking disaster movie with appendages. So how would this skyscraper-sized space toddler fare against a Viltrumite who punched through an entire planet? Let's play this out. Picture Omni Man flying over New York, probably judging humanity as usual, when suddenly the ground shakes and buildings start collapsing. He spots.
Why is everybody putting up with ads like it's 2010? Like it's 2025.
I want you to stop talking to me, lady. No, this isn't a competition. I'm sorry, dude. I wouldn't even put this in the lineup. And if somebody would have commented, what about the Cloverfield monster? I would have been like, you're fucking retarded, dog. It's just a big bug. It's a big sea. It's sea semen, radioactive sea semen versus fucking Omni Man. What are we talking about here? That's not even a fight. Get the fuck out of here.
Stomping through Times Square, swatting helicopters like flies and roaring loud enough to shatter windows. Your first instinct might be, finally, a monster big enough to challenge Omni Man. And if you're thinking that, congratulations, you've fallen into the classic bigger must be better trap. Size can be deceiving. Remember when Omni Man flew through that alien planet? The one with the crystalline mountains and civilizations? He flew through it. Not around it, through it. The impact destroyed the entire planet. And I hate to break it to Clover fans, but being 300 feet tall doesn't help much when your opponent can literally punch through celestial bodies. The military in Cloverfield struggled to damage the monster with conventional weapons, but Omni Man isn't firing missiles. He's essentially a missile himself, capable of moving at speeds that would make the monster look like it's frozen in time. One supersonic punch from Nolan would likely send Clover's head into orbit while the body's still figuring out what happened. Even if Clover somehow landed a hit on Omni Man, Viltrumite durability would treat it like a gentle pat. This is a being who can survive in the vacuum of space.
If Omni Man jerked off in the right direction, his sperm would shoot ahead through the Cloverfield monster. This is the weakest monster that we've had in the lineup so far. This is pointless. This is a pointless battle. His fucking he could like concentrate on his cum. If he edged hard enough and put enough focus into that edge and it just popped off like a bottle after you twist it too many times and you hit the cap, it would fucking destroy all of the Cloverfield monster and probably the entire city too. I mean, this isn't even a fucking competition.
Explosions that level cities and regenerate from injuries that would turn most superheroes into red mist. As for those parasites, they'd be less annoying to Omni Man than mosquitoes are to us. Actually, that's not even fair to mosquitoes. At least they can pierce human skin. These parasites would not stand a chance against Omni Man. The verdict? Sorry, Clover. Being the biggest monster in your movie franchise is impressive, but in this matchup, you're just a bigger target. Size clearly doesn't matter when facing a Viltrumite, but what about someone with almost identical powers? Brightburn's Brandon Breyer is essentially evil Superman with mommy issues. When Omni Man faces his adolescent reflection, which superpowered sociopath reigns supreme in the weird
Omni Man, because of the fact that he's had longer and more time to like hone his tactics and he's not just a child throwing a tantrum, that he does take the dub on this little fucking pussy right here because of the fact that he can outthink him.
Family reunion. From massive monsters to moody teenagers, we've now reached the angsty adolescent portion of our horror lineup. Brightburn gives us Brandon Breyers. Basically what would happen if Clark Kent discovered Lincoln Park and decided that being a hero was too mainstream. Crash landing in Kansas because apparently aliens have a weird obsession with rural America, Brandon was raised by loving adoptive parents until his 12th birthday. Well, that was when his spaceship started sending him the most motivational of messages. Take the world, not help people or use your powers responsibly. Just straight up planetary conquest. Yeah, talk about skipping the whole tutorial level and being a superhero. Brandon's powers read like Superman's resume. Super strength, flight, heat vision, and invulnerability to conventional weapons, and the ability to make extremely creepy masks out of old blankets. His only known weakness is material from his own spaceship, which conveniently his mom tried to stab him with. By the end of the movie, this preteen horror is causing airplane crashes and leaving his signature symbol at disaster sites across the globe. Pretty impressive from someone who probably still has homework due on a Monday. So how would Brandon face against Space Dad of the Year, Omni Man? Let's break it down. On paper, their powers are similar. Both are aliens with super strength, flight, and impressive durability. You might think this would make it an even match though. Well, you'd be wrong. Like so wrong. Like the earth is flat level of wrong. Remember when you thought you were hot stuff because you could do a kickflip on your skateboard, and then some late 20-year-old dude at the park did a triple backflip while drinking coffee? Well, that's basically this matchup. Brandon
Exactly what I fucking said, dude. I can read this shit so fucking fast, dude. It's because when I get done with stream, dude, I jerk it, catch it in my mouth, spit it onto the screen, because I have so much power and skill and knowledge maintained in my body that it's just unfathomable to you plebeians out there who are like, oh, maybe it'll be a good fight. No, he would fucking use his like genius old and mustached face to outmaneuver this little pussy.
had his powers
It's like,
for
you have trouble with algebra? I'm gonna rip your fucking head off, dog.
what? A few months? Omni Man has been honing his abilities for thousands of years. Imagine the encounter. Brandon floating menacingly above some small town, probably about to heat vision someone who made fun of his jacket, when suddenly a mustache blur slams into him, sending him bouncing across stage.
Brought to you by Rogue.
Thank you.
Dude, the ads are getting insane on YouTube, by the way. This is like the 5th one I've had on this one video, dude. This is like the 16th ad I've had on this one video, dude. And I just want to see Omni Man just rip a kid's head off real quick. Is that so much to ask, YouTube? Is that so much to look into, you fucking goblin platform?
Stone. Yeah, it's Omni Man. The scary part, Omni Man might actually see potential in Brandon. Here's another alien sent to conquer Earth, with a similar mission to his own. He might even offer to mentor the boy, which would be the most terrifying father-son camp.
Wrong. He's not Viltrumite. So if the kid ended up being Viltrumite, maybe. But Viltrumites are like the fucking white supremacists of space. They do not care about this other race. That other race, he will look at as a threat to the Viltrumite society and will squash it right away and find out where that planetary people come from, and then send the Viltrumite army to go destroy that planet. That's how it will go down, because they're like, what? You dare to mess with the space Nazis' power? No, we've staked claim to this. Time for us to take over your planet. And that's exactly what would go down.
Trip, since, well, you know, Omni Man's actual camping
It'd
trip.
be like Frieza, when Frieza went and destroyed the entirety of wherever Goku's from, the Saiyan world. When they destroyed the entire Saiyan world, it's like, oh, you're powerful? Well, I don't like that you're powerful, so I'm gonna kill all of you.
With Mark. Well, at this point, Omni Man doesn't even like his own son, Mark. This would be the perfect replacement, because this son is actually evil. But any alliance would be short-lived. But Brandon's pouty teenage...
I think there's a difference between what people think. So, yes, Omni Man is a bad guy, right? But in his mind, he is doing the will of the Viltrumite people. It is all for the good of the Viltrumites, right? It has nothing to do with good or bad. He's there on a mission. He is a soldier, right? I think a lot of people think that he's like Homelander from The Boys, when they couldn't be more wrong, because Omni-Man sees this as a mission. Homelander is just a whiny little bitch. Same thing with this kid. So he is a soldier on duty. That's all he is. And he's already like broken rules by having the kids and whatever, but he's definitely fucking, he's there on a job. He's there to do a job, and this fucking pussy's not gonna, like, this isn't, oh, he's evil, so now I'm evil. No, he doesn't see himself as evil. You're misinterpreting the character.
Angst would definitely clash with Nolan's my way or the highway type of leadership. And the moment that Brandon challenges authority, Omni-Man would remind him that there's always a bigger fish in the cosmic pond of space. Even with his spaceship material weakness, Omni-Man wouldn't need it. Brandon got knocked around by regular humans.
Also, we've seen that Omni-Man has Omni-Man, compared to the rest of the Viltrumites, has the potential for empathy, right? He does show, because he's like morphing into a good character in the show. I think season 2 and 3 proved that. So again, he is a soldier on duty. He's a soldier doing a job. He never questioned the job. He never did anything. And it came to the point where he needed the job completed, and he'd had enough fun fucking around. It was time to get the job done. So he was there to to get the fucking job done. It's not about like, oh, well, he's evil. Yeah, he's evil through the eyes of the humans in society that see this guy's going to destroy their planet. But in the eyes of the Viltrums, he would have been a hero, right? So it's just all about perspective with Omni Man. When you look at somebody like Homelander, where he's just evil because he's evil, or this kid who's just evil because they're evil, it's a completely different setup. It's there's more depth than that.
Who just happened to know his weakness. Omni Man could literally throw him into the sun before Brandon even processed what was happening. The verdict? This wouldn't even be a fight. It would be an adoption followed by the harshest alien boot camp ever.
No adoption. You're wrong in the adoption. I'm gonna say you're so fucking wrong on the fact that you said it's an adoption. I hate when people just put that Omni Man is this ultimate villain, because he's not that, right? Again, he is a soldier on duty. He is doing what he was assigned to do, and then he starts to have questions about it later, which shows just the, are we the baddies? Are we the baddies? That's what's happening right now, right? Instead of, oh, he's just like this evil bad guy, like you're putting him you're turning a very in-depth three-dimensional character into a one-dimensional character like some of these others.
Followed by disciplinary action. Yeah, trust me, after 5 minutes with Omni Man, Brandon would be begging to go back to his human parents. Maybe this was the dad that he needed all along. But from Earth's most disturbed teenager to the
I had a client one time.
I mean, you're again, it's like most disturbed teenager to the most disturbed. He's not, again, I don't think he's even that disturbed. I think that if you look at his perspective, he realizes that his perspective was wrong, because he built upon more perspective by running to this other planet to hide from Viltrum. He starts to see that maybe he was wrong, and then in season 3, he's saying that now he needs to atone for how wrong he was by sacrificing his own life toward the Viltrumite cause, and only then later changes. So we start to see Omni Man start to become more of a broader character later in the show and in the comics, because he isn't this one-dimensional character, a man on a mission, not unhinged bad guy like we like to see him as.
Well, Brandon at least had a humanoid form to punch. Our next contender is basically angry Jello with an appetite. When you can't punch, stab, or reason with something, does Omni Man finally meet his match in The Blob?
I have never seen either of the Blob movies. I haven't seen the original and I haven't seen the remake, and I hear they're fantastic. I hear both of them are fantastic. Now, I don't really want to watch the black and white one, but I need to watch this movie. It's a horror movie that's up there with some of the classics that I've been told to watch. I'm hoping it holds up well, because like when I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre original movie, that movie's garbage. I would rather watch the remake any day. Hate me in the comments all you want for that take. Go watch my the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is bad movie if you really want to. But yeah, dude, don't like that.
The Blob isn't complicated or nuanced. It's basically what happens when someone spills a smoothie and that smoothie decided it's hungry for human flesh. Yeah, there's no motivation here beyond consume everything. And there's no tragic backstory, just an ever-growing mass of gelatinous doom that rolls through town like a very angry, very hungry amoeba. Originally crash landing via meteorite in the 1958 classic, or created as a government experiment gone wrong in the 1988 remake, if you prefer your horror with a side of conspiracy, the Blob starts small but grows with every person it absorbs. Think of it as a deadly all-you-can-eat buffet where you are the main course. What makes the Blob particularly nightmare-inducing is how it kills. It doesn't just eat you, it envelops and dissolves you slowly, breaking down your body while you're still conscious. You're essentially being digested alive. Its only known weakness? Extreme cold. Get it cold enough and it freezes solid. That's why the original movie ends with the Blob being airdropped into the Arctic.
I mean, if people can fucking beat the Blob, right? Omni Man can beat the Blob. I always think it's funny when there's a comparison where it's like, well, the humans beat it at the end. Then fucking Giga Chat alters angry evil Superman can beat the Blob. I'm sorry, dude. Blob is getting fucking thrown into the vast empty coldness of space and is dying. That's the end. It's over. He fucking won.
Problem solved, right? Well, until global warming enters the chat. So how would this hungry puddle fare against the mighty Viltrumite? Let's imagine the encounter.
No, dude, it has nothing. There is no global warming if you throw it into the vastness of space. It gets too cold out there, it dies. End of story. It's over. It gets too cold. It literally just drops it on the fucking moon where it's too cold to survive, and it dies. End of story. Game over. Global warming's not doing anything to that. It can't fucking fly, so it's not flying out of it's not flying off of the moon. He literally just like captures it in a giant fucking bag or some shit, throws it on the moon, and game over. This is easier than every single other one on this entire list, and that's including Art the Clown, who like Art the Clown would be more of a fucking fight, because he can like keep respawning endlessly. It would be like endlessly fighting the same clown that he would eventually have to like lock up somewhere and not kill. But here's the thing with the blob, it's put it in a fucking bag, put it on the moon, and just leave it there. It's so easy. This is so easy, dog.
Omni Man is flying over a small town, probably contemplating which civilization to critique next, when he notices something odd, a weird reddish mass oozing through the streets, consuming everything in its path. People are screaming, running, you know, the usual human panic that Nolan finds so tedious to deal with. He lands near the blob, crossing his arms in that judgmental pose he always does. What's this supposed to be? Earth's defense system? Pathetic. The blob, being a mindless eating machine, does what comes naturally. It surges towards this new potential meal. But here's where things get interesting. When the blob touches Omni Man, it would attempt to envelop and dissolve him like any other usual victim. But there's one problem. Viltrumite skin isn't like human skin.
It has nothing to do with even the skin. He fucking flies backwards at the speed of sound, or the speed of light, or whatever the fucking speed he can do. He just zips back. He's like, oh, this fucking thing bites back. Okay. And he just like fucking gets like a bunch of metal and just surrounds it and then throws it into space. So easy. It's so easy. A fucking toddler, the stupid angry toddler from a few seconds ago could have done this.
This is the same body that can take direct hits from nuclear explosions, survive in the vacuum of space, and endure temperatures that would vaporize steel. The blob's acidic properties would be about as effective as spraying a tank with a water gun. Did you just try to eat me? Omni Man would probably ask, more annoyed than threatened. Yeah, even if the blob somehow managed to completely engulf him, Omni Man could simply fly upwards at supersonic speeds, breaking free by sheer force. And remember the blob's one weakness? Cold? Well, guess what's really fucking cold? Space. One quick trip to the upper atmosphere.
I fucking told you, dude. I fucking told you, dog. It's so simple. I mean, I get that he's trying to craft a narrative to keep the viewer engaged and everything, but come on, dude. He fucking just slapped. He uses his dick like a golf club and just like fucking for the space blob. Fucking enjoy not ever fucking sucking on the people's wieners anymore.
And the blob would be flash frozen faster than that ice cream you forgot in the back of your freezer. Or, if Omni Man was feeling particularly unimaginative that day, he could just fly the blob into the sun. Good luck dissolving anything when you're being vaporized at 27 million degrees Fahrenheit.
This guy's solution for fucking everything is throw everything into the sun. You gotta be more imaginative than that, buddy. Just put it on the moon, and then when Omni Man gets bored, he just breaks off chunks and then fucks it. He's like, oh, it's like a pocket pussy, but he used to eat humanity. And because it bites back a little bit, I'm getting more friction. So it's making me come harder. That's a good way to end this.
The verdict? Well, the blob might be the all-consuming terror of small-town America. To Omni Man, it would just be an annoying stain on his outfit. Our next monster throws the rulebook out the window, replacing it with a 23-day feeding frenzy every 23 years. When the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers sets its sights on Viltrumite organs, will its ancient hunger finally meet its match in an even more ancient warrior? This ancient demon operates on a bizarre feeding schedule that makes intermittent fasting look reasonable. It wakes up every 23 years, eats for exactly 23 days, then goes back to sleep. Talk about commitment to your diet plan, because I can't even stick to eating healthy for 23 minutes. The Creeper isn't just any random monster though. It's got some weird things it's into. It doesn't just kill people. It carefully selects victims based on which body parts it wants to harvest from them. Think of it as
I still don't see this as that. I mean, like he's tough, don't get me wrong, but it's not gonna be fucking. I feel like the progression of this is all over the place. I thought they were gonna get more tough by the end, but I don't feel like they're getting tougher. I just feel like I don't see Jeepers Creepers guy as being. Now, I haven't seen the second or third movie, but they slowed this motherfucker down as humans all the time. Now, they did lose in the first movie, and he ends up getting his eyes eaten, and this guy goes back to his fucking jerk-off cave. But I don't see, with the fact that they were able to slow him down at all, makes me think that a superhuman fucking Superman guy would just punch his taint through a window.
Shopping, but with more screaming, an old rusty truck instead of a shopping cart. Its powers include supernatural strength, regenerative abilities, leathery bat wings for flight, and an uncanny talent for crafting weapons from the.
He rips the bat wings off and then just fucks him in the ass until he's dead. That's how this ends.
Bones of its victims. Oh, and it can smell fear. Literally, it can sniff out which organs it wants from miles away, which has to be the worst superpower for dinner parties. Also, I heard it's coming after Johnny Sins next. I don't know why it would, but I got an email telling me that was going to happen. So
it's the penis. He wants Johnny Sins' penis because it's been inside enough porn stars that he's like, I want to like take it. I don't even want to put it on my body. I just want to smell it because he's a fucking creeper, right? So he's just creepily smelling Johnny Sins' penis for any leftover vaginal fluid.
How would this organ harvesting demon fare against our mustached Viltrumite? Let's picture this weird battle. The Creeper is cruising down a lonely country road in its old ass truck, blasting Jeepers Creepers on the radio because why not, when it catches an unfamiliar scent. It follows the scent to find Omni Man standing in a field, probably monologuing about human weaknesses or something equally as fucking annoying. The Creeper circles overhead, assessing this potential.
I feel like he's only fucking watched the first season of Invincible. Let's see here. This was 6 days ago, so he's only watched the first season of Invincible and has like a baseline understanding of Omni Man and made this entire video, and it's super fucking stupid. Like, hey, how many times do you have to mention the first season tropes and not know that he's changed as a character? You're still putting him in this you're putting him in this little box that's easy and one-dimensional so that you can make it work for all of these things. Oh, evil bad mustache Superman, that's all he is, when he's a much more deep character, and there's a lot more nuances going on there. And I think that that's like the forefront of all of the jokes in this are off of season 1 Invincible and not off of the other two.
Harvest. Its ancient senses telling it that this prey is different from the usual teenagers it stalks. The Creeper swoops down, talons extended, ready to claim whatever Viltrumite organ has caught its interest. Maybe it's excited about upgrading to alien parts. Yeah, anyways, bad move, buddy. Before the Creeper can even register what's happening, Omnium would likely catch it midair with the same effort you'd use to swat a fly. Yeah, the Creeper is screwed. The fundamental problem for the Creeper is compatibility.
Yeah, this is a big problem. Is it right behind me? Now I'm kind of being a dick, but he's got that fucking TikTok flow down so well that it's kind of degrading on me, because everything about him is one-dimensional. It's like all the same one-dimensional jokes. It's all the same thing. And the thing that sucks is I find the video topic very interesting, and I think that he does a fairly decent job with it, but every one of his jokes are millennial cringe, and it just makes me want to fucking jump out a window to like a bed of spikes, right? I want to just be impaled in every fucking orifice of my body. It's like, oh, have you ever laid on a bed of nails? I want to fucking jump from a 3-story building on a bed of nails. Now in Minecraft or Roblox or fucking Call of Duty or whatever. It's just like, I feel like he boils this character down to simply bad, and then doesn't have any other understanding of what makes him interesting, and then they ruin some of his arguments because like it's a fucking very shallow understanding of a character, which he could add better nuances and better interest into the thing than just, oh, humanity sucks, I'm better than humanity talking points from fucking end of season 1.
Its whole thing is harvesting human organs to replace its own failing parts. But Viltrumite biology is completely alien.
And again, he would see this as lesser than him, right? He would see this as lesser than humanity because its only reason for living is by harvesting human organs, is because it needs them to make him whole. So he's like, you need parts from a lesser species to live. You're disgustingly pathetic and you're beneath man. He would see it as that, right? I like, if you're using his guy's same arguments, it's just,
their organs are designed to withstand forces that would liquefy human tissue. It would be like trying to replace your car engine with a blender. Technically, both have motors, but good luck making that work, genius. Even if the Creeper somehow managed to land a hit, Omni Man's regenerative abilities far outstrip anything the demon could dish out. And when Omni Man decided to counterattack, well, the Creeper might be immortal in the movies, but it never faced a being who could punch with enough force to shatter mountains. Yeah, the verdict, the Creeper would go from predator to a pile of goo on the floor faster than you can say, where'd you get those peepers? Its 23-day feeding frenzy would end prematurely, and that rusty old truck would probably end up as a modern art installation somewhere in the upper atmosphere after Omni Man threw it into orbit. But you know, if a solitary hunter like the Creeper is no match for Omni Man, what about a species that evolved specifically to kill? Xenomorphs don't just hunt, they adapt.
Jimmy Johns finally has...
The Xenomorphs would be interesting, but the fact that the Predators use Xenomorphs as training to fucking exist, right? So the Xenomorphs utilize the Predators utilize Xenomorphs as training exercises to show that you're a good enough Predator. So you literally go out, the Predators literally like spawn in, and then they kill a gajillion fucking aliens to prove that they're better than the fucking aliens, and then they dip out. They're literally used as fucking training tools for this other species, and you think that they're not gonna get fucking mollywopped by Space Jesus or whatever what you want to call Omni Man? Like, come the fuck on, dude. They're fucking cooked too. I mean, even the Predator is fucking cooked, and the Predator is a objectively better fighter than the aliens.
Produce to their victims and have acid for blood. When the perfect organism meets the perfect warrior, will Omni Man finally face something that makes him sweat? If you don't know about the Alien movies, basically imagine the world's worst awful house guest who arrives uninvited, redecorates your chest cavity, and has the worst table manners imaginable. These sleek biomechanical nightmares aren't just random monsters. They're practically perfect killing machines. As the android Ash would put it, they're organisms with structural perfection matched only by its hostility. That's science speak for "you're fucked, dude." What makes xenomorphs particularly terrifying is their life cycle. It starts with an egg, which hatches a facehugger, which is a spider-like creature that latches onto your face and shoves an embryo down your throat. Hours later, a chest burster erupts from your ribcage in the galaxy's worst gender reveal party ever. This quickly grows into an adult xenomorph that inherits traits from its host, making each one uniquely adapted to its environment. Oh, and their blood is basically industrial strength acid that melts through metal, concrete, and pretty much anything else. Even killing them is dangerous. Congratulations, you've just been splashed with corrosive alien blood. Their hive mentality, stealth abilities, and the presence of a queen that lays hundreds of eggs make them a threat that can quickly overwhelm entire colonies. So how would these perfect killing machines fare against the perfect Viltrumite warrior? Let's imagine this acid-dripping showdown. Omni Man is investing a weird spaceship that came into Earth's orbit. Anyways, he discovers signs of a massacre, claw marks, mysterious resin on the walls, and suspiciously person-shaped holes in the floor. As he explores deeper, he encounters his first xenomorph, probably hanging from the ceiling, because why not?
What's funny is there's actually a creature like these in fucking Invincible in season 2 and 3. There's those things that attach to your face and then take control of your body. I mean, it's not quite, I mean, if they had something pop out of the chest and became its own creature, but they have a hive mind like creature that exists like this, and I don't know if they can affect Viltrumites quite yet, but I do know that they can affect a lot of shit. So we'll see what actually happens with a creature that kind of like hive minds using the spider crab shits in the actual show. So I'm very excited for that. I looked it up a second ago to see if there was a crossover, because it seems like they just mash Alien in versus everybody in the comics, but I did not see an Invincible Alien crossover, which sucks. I do think that they're getting fucking bodied. He'll just destroy the queen, destroy the planet, move on.
Drops down, hissing and drooling, ready to claim a new, particularly powerful host. The first thing a xenomorph would try is a direct attack. Claws, teeth, and a tail aimed at Omni Man.
Again, another mistake a lot of people make when they think about Alien is they're like, oh, what if they get a face hugger on him? He is so fucking fast that a fucking face hugger is not attaching to Omni Man. I'm sorry. Every time we've seen a face hugger jump on something, it's like something that has like normal mobility. I mean, even the Predator has fairly normal mobility. I mean, it's slightly better than humans, but it's not like leagues and miles better or above it, you know? And even the time we've seen a Predator get hit, he took his fucking mask off like an idiot. But you look at Omni Man, he can move as fast as bullets. You think that a thing that's jumping across like this, he's gonna see it in slow motion, grab it and squish it, and then destroy every single one in the blink of an eye in a second. It's gonna be nothing for him. I don't see them as that big of a threat. I'm sorry. It's, again, if humans can beat them, Omni Man can beat them, and humans beat aliens a couple times. Like, you look at how they destroyed the entire world, and they kind of abandoned the world in Aliens, the movie Aliens, but they literally could just destroy that entire planet, and our biohazard the planet, and then just nuke it into oblivion and have nobody land on it again, and the aliens will eventually die off. They already killed the queen by throwing her into space, the vastness of space, so what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Omni-Man's fucking sweeping.
These would be about as effective as attacking a tank with a plastic spoon. Viltrumite's skin, which can withstand nuclear explosions and planetary re-entry, isn't going to be scratched by alien claws, no matter how sharp they are. But here's where things get interesting. The xenomorph's blood sprays from the impact, splatting onto Omni Man. Would the acid blood be strong enough to burn Viltrumite flesh? Possibly, but marginally at best. We've seen Viltrumites withstand conditions that would dissolve.
He does not even have to fucking touch them. The planet, okay, let me break this fucking down to you guys real quick. Whole planet is covered in aliens. They're fucking as thick as stabbing into an anthill. They're just flooding fucking everywhere. There's a gajillion of them. He literally finds the one open spot between like the mesh of aliens, because there's so many of them and it's just an infestation. He flies into that and just blows the fucking world up in the middle. Because he's done that before. He literally just obliterates the entire world. They float off into the denseness of space and die. He doesn't ever have to even really engage with the aliens. There is no reason why he'd have to engage with the aliens. And even if you're like, oh, well, what if he's investigating this thing and a facehugger? I've already covered that. Facehugger shoots at him. He, like, literally goes behind it, grabs it, and chucks it out of a fucking wall. It explodes. He's like, wow, they have acid. I'm just going to destroy this planet because it seems like a waste of my time. Done.
Matter. Their molecular structure is dense enough to survive flying through a planet. The acid might cause minor discomfort, like spilling hot coffee on yourself, but nothing crazy. The real interesting question, though, is could a facehugger successfully implant an embryo in
Fuck no. It has no fucking chance. He's too fast.
Omni Man? This is where the xenomorphs would truly fail, because facehuggers work by attaching to a host's face, inserting a proboscis down the throat and implanting an embryo. But Omni Man could 1. Move faster than a facehugger could pounce, 2. Easily tear it off with his strength, or 3. Likely resist implantation due to his alien physiology. Even if by some miracle a chestburster.
I do think that his alien physiology would not help him because of the fact that they use your own molecular buildup to kind of create a hybrid. I think that there would be a chance that it would bust through him, but the being too fast is the only thing you need. You don't need any of the other things. He is too fast for it to jump onto him. There's not a face hugger that is also secretly moonlighting as the Flash. It doesn't exist.
Developed, it would face the ultimate hostile environment, Viltrumite internal organs, which are dense enough to withstand the pressure of deep space and the impact of mountains. The verdict? Yeah, even a hive of thousands of xenomorphs would be nothing more than a messy cleanup job for Omni Man. Their perfect evolutionary design never accounted for something as powerful as a Viltrumite. It's like bringing biological knives to a superpowered gunfight. And there you have it. Even the most deadly monsters of horror are basically nothing against the most powerful being in the Invincible universe. If you want more videos like this, make sure to comment down below which person you want to see fight a bunch of horror movies, and like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps me out. And if you want to watch more videos just like this, click the video on screen now.
I do think that
What are you still doing here?
Fuck off, dude. I do think it was a really interesting video. I think the premise was really good. I think that there's more horror people that are actually way more overpowered that could have been utilized. I mean, Predator is one of them. I think Predator is more interesting because it would see it as the Predator would see it as a prey, and it would actually like try to outmaneuver it and be smart about it. And it wouldn't win by any means, but I think that was a better addition to the list than some of the stupid shit he put on there, like the Blob. The Blob is like, well, who the fuck thinks the Blob's gonna have a chance? But there, and again, there's shit like ghosts or whatever that might have a chance because they don't have a spiritual body. With they could possess him if they're powerful enough type of entity to maybe possess him and have him off ski himself ski. Maybe that, I guess. But I just don't think that. I don't know. It was like, okay, let's pick a bunch of really popular ones so that I can people will clip this out and put it everywhere. And instead of like actually finding the most powerful entities and monsters out there, I feel like there's way more, and right now I'm about to pee myself, so I can't think of all of them. But yeah, the video was good. I think it was definitely a fun watch. I definitely will put this on definitely a fun thought experiment, something that I enjoyed thoroughly. But I think the guy didn't really have a good understanding of Omni Man, and that kind of pissed me off throughout the video. But other than that, it was fun watch, and thank you guys all so much, and like and subscribe, and I'm gonna go pee, or I'm gonna do it right in my chair.